What's up, my friends? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a flying review. It's been a while since we did a nice flying review, so it's a beautiful day finally. It's not pouring down rain in the Pacific Northwest. I'm getting over some kind of chest cold here, but I have the brand new Eachine E190. It is a smaller version of the Huey you've been seeing on the channel. We've had a lot of kind of cool military scale helicopters and stuff, a fly wing Huey as well. And this one seems to be just kind of another variation of that. It's got the swords on the front of it, which I like a lot. It's a little decal that you can put on there. And it does have stability mode on here. It does have a brushless tail rotor, and it has a 2S, what is that? A 1200 milliamp battery. So it does have a little LED on the front for pushing it. See how much battery life you got left, and it goes just under here. But to make this review a little bit sweeter, we are also going to put a little onboard flight camera on there. So I'll give you the usual commentary, and then we'll also give you the onboard pilot view. So get ready for some scale RC helicopter action today in this live review. It's brand new E190. Let's go ahead and do some flying. All right, guys, let's go ahead and let's fire up this heli. Get it nice and flat while it loads up. And now this beeps, so that says we're good to go to fly. Everything should be ready for takeoff. We got a little pilot cam there on the top. And let's see how it takes off. We're gonna use the unlock button here. We also have something called screw pitch. We have the downward facing sort of built-in, not LiDAR, but kind of like the optical flow. We have the inverted mode and manual mode here. So also high and low rates, which is kind of cool, and a self-centering stick. So you notice that self-centers back to the middle there. So we'll unlock. Okay, there we go. Now let's see if that down and out shuts it off, or if we have to go to the lock button. Okay, so we'll go to the lock, and now we'll go to unlock. Little white stripe on the outside of the blades looks cool. Super scale look. Now we go down and out. That starts it up to a low idle. Now I can come off the ground. Just gonna lift it up a little bit. Wow, it's a really slow takeoff. And we should be in the optical flow mode right now. I'm gonna push up on that button for the optical flow. See how that works out. Let's do a walk around real quick. I like to do a walk around and kind of a hands-off hover right there. To show you a hands-off hover, that's pretty good. That's really good, actually. And you see how it moved away from me when I put my hand under it? That's the optical flow on the bottom of the heli. And let's go off and do some forward flying. Let's just get into it. This is full stick forward right here. Across the field in front of me. Not using my left hand at all. Not putting any throttle into it, just leaving it kind of altitude hold, which is cool. It seems to be gaining some altitude as I go. Just gonna get away from those briars a little bit over there. Now swing that tail around. So I have to say, like, if this was my first RC helicopter ever, this would have been a cool entry into flying RC helicopters. Damn, man, that is cool. I mean, number one, because, well, it's easy to fly, but number two, it just looks cool. And I know a lot of good new guys, when you guys first start buying RC stuff, a lot of you guys buy stuff that just looks cool. And I mean, honestly, when I first got started, I would buy stuff that looked cool but flew terrible. So that's kind of things are changing for 2025. Things are changing quite a bit. Now things can look cool and fly good. How about that? It's kind of a revolution in RC. I've got a little tree over there to my left I don't want to fly into. The head speed sounds good though. It's not intimidating head speed. Just come in here. I wish I had some G.I. Joes to pick up. Let's do a landing out here in the field. Let's do a quick landing and take off, okay? We're gonna go ahead and press down. If I hold that stick down to see if it'll turn the rotors off. Yeah, it does. That's cool. Okay, so hold stick down, turns the rotors off. I'm gonna unlock it again. Press down and out, kind of like an old school DJI Phantom. That was the arming process for the original Phantom. Here we are 11 years later, you guys. We're still flying RC 11 years later on this channel. I gotta say it on my channel, never give up. A lot of people say that, and that's the damn truth, you guys. So we're in low mode right now as far as the rates. Let's go ahead and put it in high mode. See if we get a little faster flying out of it this time. The wind's starting to pick up a lot, so I just lost a lot of altitude right there, but I'm keeping it fairly low. We can go up a little higher. And it should have some kind of height limit on it. I flew another one recently that had a height limit on it. And I believe it was the same type of model. So I'm pressing full up. And let's just see if we can't go any higher than that right there. See, that's like the altitude lock. Now, I wonder if I press this inversion, see if we can get the inverted thing to work. I've done this recently in it, and we were having an issue. I think we had to go into manual to get it to be able to do the inverted, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, you guys. Just gonna go forward there. Let's get up at our max height. Might have to get a little higher to go inverted. Well, I swear to you, you don't want to invert. I have done this before on this same type of heli, just a different model. I mean, a lot of these are pretty much the same flight controller. They're the same upgraded radio recently, and they're just different company names on here. Man, that thing is going super fast in manual mode. That's pretty awesome. Now, this manual mode is a lot funner for me because I've been flying longer than a lot of you guys have, but that's a lot of times where I talk about something like that and then I'm gonna crash. Just want to see that yaw rate. It's pretty quick. See that tail moving back and forth? That is your yaw. Nose moving left and right is yaw. Listen to that thing whip by. Sounds good, don't it? Kind of drifting sideways. Okay, it says something called screw pitch. I really don't want to put it right into the briars right there, do I? Man, let's go back to the mode where we have optical flow. So look how much it slows down when we're using the optical flow. So if you go to manual mode and you turn that optical flow off, it really does go a lot quicker. See how much slower the yaw is? Let's check out that disc on top with that white stripe. Check that out for scale. That's pretty cool. Let me bring it over here on this side where the sun looks a little better for you guys. Check that out. That's a nice view, isn't it? I don't want to get too close to a heli. Smack me in the face. That would not be good. I've been eat up by helicopters before, so before I was a drone guy, I was an airplane guy, then I was a heli guy, and then, you know, natural progression to drones from RC airplanes. Now I want to go back into manual, and I'm just gonna, you know, I can get a visual on the bottom of this heli too. We'll see how much battery we have left. It looks like we have almost looks like maybe 2.5 bars left on that battery. We're still recording, so go back to manual and we'll just take off out into the field, do a little exploring out there. Since we do have like stability mode on this, like worst case scenario, if you get discombobulated out there, can't figure out which way you're going, you can just kind of stop and hover in place. And the best thing, honestly, to do this little heli, if you get it way out there and can't get it back, you know, stop what you're doing first of all, and then start like reducing your altitude, get it a little bit lower, and then just try to walk out to it or run out to your helicopter if you can. And once you get close to it, you can figure out your orientation again. Man, look at that tail swing around. That was cool. Whoa. Coming in for a pickup. So I've got one gun on this one on the right side. Or one rockets on the right side and one gun on the left. So you might be able to see that right here. There's my gun. And then on the right side, I've got my rockets. So typically on some of these helis, we've got 2 rockets and 2 guns on the bigger ones. Now this heli is probably in the, like, I'd say around the 200 class size if you're like an RC heli guy. If you're wondering how big this is. It's quite a bit smaller than the 450 that we have from Flywing. You can go and watch that review on my channel as well. That one's on the Drone Camps channel. Flywing Huey is pretty cool. It's made of fiberglass, and this fuselage is made of just pure plastic. All right, let's do some low flyby. Man, it's cool, isn't it? That is pretty cool. I don't want to crash into the weeds. Looking good, little heli. Still going. You know, I feel like we're getting close to the end of this battery. I hate to be out over this tall grass. So, you know, one thing I really like about it, let's talk about things I like. I mean, ease of use. Definitely, it's easy use. The way it looks, and it's actually pretty quiet. It's quieter than a drone. Like, you're not going to get the Karens coming after you with the little army helicopter, unless you're flying over the playground with the biggest camera you can find on there, recording Karen's son or daughter. Don't do that. All right, so I got a beep from the transmitter. First beep from the transmitter means like we're probably getting low. We're at the end of our battery. Let's go ahead and head back to our landing pad over here. I don't want to get any dirt on this baby. Gotta watch my step as I'm backing up. I don't want to waste too much time. All right. And let's see if we can move our landing pad over back to the sunlight. Let's just go back over here where you guys can see better. See this landing a little better. We'll just toss that out there. All right, let's go ahead and land her. I don't see any kind of a auto land on there, but I didn't do that descent at all. It just set itself down just then, and it turned off the rotor. It turned off the motor power. That's, look at that. That's pretty cool. I wish I could stop it from, I'm gonna go ahead and lock it. So that stops the beeping. Or no, it didn't. We're gonna have to stop that beeping. Okay, so it looks like we're at 1 bar there on the battery. I'm gonna press once, press again. All right, now that's off. So I flew this battery to the very end for you guys. Let's feel if it's warm or not. It's a tiny bit warm. Go ahead and turn this transmitter off. But it was pretty much flawless. I mean, it's definitely not like a 3D helicopter by any means. It's all about scale, fun flying. But if I was a kid and just being able to have something like this, you know, in my bedroom on the shelf would have been awesome. Look, the door opens. You can see the motor inside there, the brushless motor. So it does have a pretty nice brushless motor. It's going to feel that, see if that's warm a little bit. It's got a little bit of heat on it. So it was working. And then the tail rotor is also a brushless motor. That looks like an 1100 series motor. No, it's a 1204 5300 kV motor on the back. So I feel like this is a little higher kV than what we had before on some of these scale helis, because we had a little bit of a tail twitch on some of those helis that we had in the past like 2 to 3 months on the channel. But I don't know if this is a version 2.0. I have seen it around the internet with these swords on the front, this version of the Huey. But it did good. It did good for me. So I don't have a lot of bad things to say about it. I just want it to be bigger. But having it at this scale, this size, makes it cheaper for you guys to buy if you wanted one. So you can check out my link down below, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed flying with me today. If you want to join up on a channel this year that you're going to see a lot of flying reviews on, and also some news, some RC news and things that are happening around the country. This is kind of like a clubhouse. It's really a cool bunch of guys that are here on this channel. So join up with us, subscribe on the channel, and see what's new in RC. And take care, guys. I will definitely see you on the next one. Bye-bye.